According to a new reported directive from Secretary of State Marco Rubio, the Trump administration is hitting the pause button on all foreign student visas, while considering a plan to run concurrently that would screen applicants based on their social media activity, likely for any anti-Semitic or terrorist-sympathizing comments. In a cable that was obtained and reported by Politico, Rubio instructed all U.S. embassies and consulates to immediately stop adding appointment slots for F, M, and J visas issued to international students and exchange visitors, as the State Department prepares to expand its social media vetting process.
All right, so Wale, this is incredible. This is crazy. This is wild. Like all the emotions that I can think of as an immigrant in America, knowing that I know friends, colleagues, and people who are aspiring to come to the US this summer for school, who have gotten appointments, who like they're waiting for the appointment date, and those who are waiting for the process to come through. I'm like, how does this affect them? Right now, there's not a lot of information about the impact on the different stages of the different applicants. But what is clear is that they've been instructed to stop issuing visa appointment dates. They've been advised to stop issuing that. Does that mean those who already have appointment date can go ahead and interview? I mean, that's the thought process. Personally, I feel a type of way because I have a couple of friends who are trying to move. And so I feel a type of way about it. I know this is wild because I was impacted by Trump administration the last term in my effort to join my family. We talked about it in one of our videos, right, Wally? And so I can imagine just the pain. I know how international students take loan to pay for their school fees and just having to be told that they can't travel. This affects them to the point they have to have their money returned. Then they're going to return that money with interest that they have to pay. You can imagine the impacts beyond the loan, beyond the fact that they made plans, beyond the fact that maybe some are already waiting for his appointment to make that move. Lives have been put on hold. Dreams have been changed all of a sudden. Like, Wally, I don't know what else to say to that, honestly.
Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. There's definitely a huge amount of investment in terms of the time you've put in, the effort, your emotions, there are so many things that has gone into that. They're applying for a future. But when I first heard about it, I wasn't really sure about what's going on. But the more I started to think about it, if you remember, like we covered all the cases of students that are being openly anti-Semitic.
We talked about that.
Based on the claims of the U.S. State Department, and also there's just a lot of other issues that is going on right now in the U.S. with basically Harvard versus the Trump administration right now, where already made an executive order to cancel all the AI programs, and which Harvard had completely, absorbed into their program. And Harvard has also came out to made a statement that they're not going to do that. The government is not going to tell them how they run their school. So when the government sees that Harvard is talking about this way, and then the government is saying that, oh, this is a national security issue, then they continue to look for other things that they can do. So right now, I think I did see somewhere, I'm not sure if this number is accurate, that the number of students enrolled at Harvard, foreign students, is 30%. So imagine a whole school, one of the best schools in the world, has 30% foreign students. What will happen to American students?
Exactly.
So what happened to all the Americans that they left behind? So there's a lot of issue that is good. This is just one of the things they're trying to use to tackle the issues that I see that is a national threat. But unfortunately, it's going to affect a lot of international students. And this is one of them. But I don't expect this to be long.
We expect to hear court cases, so we'll see.
No, it's not even the court case. I don't think the court can do anything about this. This is a pause. This is a suspension. And this is something that, like the first few things that the guy said, they want to consider adding reviewing students' social media. So they know how people are already thinking about America before they now start coming here. So there's a lot of things that is going on. But let me play the rest of the video, and then we can talk about the remaining things.
Foreign students may be evaluated before being allowed to study in the U.S. The State Department and Department of Homeland Security have already revoked at least 4,000 visas from international students in recent weeks, many of whom were flagged for alleged criminal records, including arson, human trafficking, child endangerment, and domestic abuse. A separate push to cancel many visas for nearly 7,000 foreign students at Harvard University was blocked by a federal judge in California last week. The ruling came after Harvard had sued the administration, calling the DHS policy a violation of constitutional rights and a threat to a quarter of its student body. The school's president warned that mass deportations would, quote, imperil the futures, unquote, of thousands of scholars, called it a direct attack on academic freedom. Despite the legal setback,
Before I want to respond to that part. A little bit of what I was talking about,
Yeah.
they were going to mention it, is that some of the students that they are deporting, some of them have committed arson, human trafficking. They listed other crimes, but you can imagine the kind of crimes that they're seeing foreign students. There are issues with immigrants. They're also committing crimes, but now foreign students are also committing these kinds of crimes. So if you think about how the government is thinking and they see that and it's an issue of safety for the American people, for me, it makes sense that they do that. Like I said, I empathize with people who are trying to come here, and it's definitely going to delay
Yeah, of course, the collateral damage. Yeah.
Those are my thoughts for now, but just wanted to respond to that part.
Yeah, I get you. I agree with you, Ali, on that. I mean, any country should do that in view of the fact that you are seeing several foreign students commit those kind of crimes, and you want to be able to, block that from growing into more devastating situation for the American people. So on that ground, yes, I can understand that. Collateral damage is how we hope the government will approach it in a way that students who have good records, who are upright individuals, should be allowed to, remain in America and be able to come to America and go to school.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's watch the last part.
the White House has doubled down, and President Trump, speaking from the Oval Office, recently called Harvard's position ridiculous, accusing the Ivy League school of allowing anti-Semitic protests and collaborating with hostile foreign actors. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem echoed that sentiment, saying the government has a, quote, right to restrict campus access to those who abuse their privilege to be here. With social media screening in the pipeline, foreign students could be facing more obstacles, not only in keeping their status, but in obtaining a visa in the first place. The White House has yet to respond to requests for comment on the new guidance, when it will be formally issued, or how broadly it will be applied.
Yeah, so as we were looking at this video, there is another sort of breaking news. I'm pretty sure this is related to what we just saw. Can you see?
Are you serious?
Yes.
This just came out. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but I don't know what evidence people have, but I'm pretty sure if you do the research, you'll be able to find the evidence, because if it's not true, there's a lot of way that you can flag false information on Twitter. So one of the things that the Chinese government is doing, I think it just started, or maybe they started a while ago, I'm not sure. They're requiring all students to be part of the registered Communist Party, something like that. So basically what it means is that for you to be a foreign student as a Chinese, you are required to report to the Chinese government anytime they call you to. So they call you, they say, okay, we want to get some information from you about whatever it is that you're doing, where you are, who you are meeting, who you are seeing. You are required to do that based on the program that they are going on. So again, I'm probably not saying what the name of the program is, or I don't really know the full details, but I've definitely seen a lot of people talking about those things that the Chinese government is doing and how it's going to be a serious national security issue for the United States. So this is just one aspect. So there's this aspect. There's also many other aspects that we've talked about, like the anti-Semitic aspect, the crime aspect, all those aspects, and that has to do with a lot of the Ivy League schools, which are the top universities in the United States. We are probably going to see many of things like this that will come from the Trump administration to try to protect America the way they see fit. And the last thing I just want to say about it is that, like, if you are a student, if you're trying to get to America, you're trying to study at any school here, I'm pretty sure this thing is just going to be for now. They just want to put up a structure and a format where they'll be able to vet all the students a lot more thoroughly, students that are coming to the United States. Because as far as the government is concerned, all the problematic students, in quotes, that they are seeing is a result of the government not paying close attention to who they are admitting to the United States.
That makes sense. Just unfortunate that the good students or the good impending students will, face some, challenges, and the process just got to be harder.
Yeah, unfortunately. So from our side, we wish you good luck. We hope you'll be able to pull through with all your dreams. And, we really want to see you in the United States of America like we are already here. Thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe. Share this information with your friends. It's always good to be able to know about things like this so that you can prepare for it and also be proactive about what you need to do to put yourself in a better position to be able to get the visa that you want. That's it from
All
me.
right then. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.